What's going on, guys? Well, unfortunately, the movie I had planned out for this week kind of got deleted somehow. So I lost a lot of cool footage of pulling out this old heavy gigantic axle. So I was just going to give y'all a little quick rundown. If you notice, I got the new, well, I'm going to say new springs. They're actually the original springs. Took them off here, wire brushed them down. They're actually in very good still shape. So what I decided to do was we're going to definitely keep these. There was nothing actually wrong with them. If you notice, I went ahead and bought new hardware, and in the process of taking off the old axle that was on here, you kind of get noticed that. Let's try to get y'all in for a close shot. I used my Mac high-end impact, and it took every bit of what it had and all the air I had in my compressor to get these suckers to break loose. I'm not sure if y'all got the chance to see this on the last video, just kind of going over things. These are the old rims that came off that trailer, and I mean, look at that. Compared to my hand, that's a big old hole that's right here in the center. Huge wide 4 pattern that's like completely obsolete since the 1960s or 70s. All the old hardware, completely, like, this is the old stuff. I mean, you can kind of see that, like, old and crusty, and I mean, it could have been reused, but like, this one still got some decent thread. No, there's some bad spots. There's like literally almost every one of these has a bad spot here and there. So I just went ahead and opted to buy 6 brand new 5/8 bolts. The rims and tires are trashed on this, so that's one reason why I wanted to go ahead and replace this with more modern. You can kind of get another little shot what it looks like with the new the springs painted and put back on it. And here's the old dilapidated axle. I was so happy to get out of this thing. 1960s, 70ish type, god awful heavy. I had to have a friend of mine help me. Not only did I have to have a friend of mine help me drag it from underneath, you can kind of notice here's the ends of the U-bolts. There was an accident when I was bringing home the original camper. One of the tires came off and got caught in the wheel well, causing it to basically drag one side. This is going to be it right here. You notice like everything's flattened out. It was completely gone. I mean, look at that. I'm glad that I was able to make it home. I was able to still tow it around when it was the homemade camper project. And after that, it was decided just to reuse this frame as my toy hauler, which I'd get more use out of. See that old crusty drum that was on here? I mean, this thing is just gnarly. I mean, it still worked. It was, I don't think it was this side. I think it was the other side, I want to say, that the threads are basically gone. Same thing with just that had rusted in place when the wheel was changed out. I was able to get them to hold for a while we used the camper and everything, and it just wasn't worth it. It was just better off making it into what it is now. Matter of fact, I think it is that side. That side would have been on the passenger. But getting back to this week's video, what I wanted to do is go ahead. I got to get this thing done. For me, next week is going to be Thanksgiving. For you guys, I'm not sure. I believe I'll show this video this week so y'all kind of see it right with me. I got to get as much work as I can get done on this thing because I need to get it painted. My days of at least being hot in the mid-70s here in North Florida are about to be gone. Got the winch done. Just got to do a couple more little welds to call it done. So I'm going to go ahead, do the last of the welding, the grinding, everything. Get it done hopefully this week, maybe beginning of next. But let me go ahead and get the axle and its components out, and let's start assembling an axle. Alright. What I did was, this is a drop spring axle. So what I did was I laid it up here and I kind of got my measurements from the edge of my spring to the back side of this flat spot. I know I should have 6 inches of difference between the two. Can't really complain. I paid $120 for this axle at Northern Tool. Bought it like several months ago when I decided I'm going to do this build. Just been waiting for the chance to actually get it out here and get it installed. Look at that. For some reason I'm having an issue cutting the pack. What I did was go ahead and while I was there, went ahead and bought another set of these because I knew I was going to have an issue with getting the original, the little spring plates, or yeah, I guess what are these, seats? I'm sorry, getting the seats to line up because, you know, they make, I guess, one size fits all. So it's just easy as putting a set of these on, flipping her over, and start bolting her down and weld her up. And just double check my measurement. Still dead on the money. Now without, just rotate it straight up, right in the new seat. Now I've got the new axle in place. I'm gonna go ahead and leave these original little spring seats that came on it. It's not gonna hurt much. My next goal is to go ahead. I went ahead and bought new axle plates and the U-bolts, nuts, everything I needed. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is let's go ahead and get this thing open. I'll go ahead and start, and should have grabbed the wrench. What I'm going to do is go ahead and, matter of fact, let me run in the shop. Let me grab the wrench I need. And go ahead and get this installed, and we can go ahead and keep on moving through our components. There she goes. Here's the new axle, completely into place. I got everything like just about super snugged up as far as the 4 U-bolts. Same thing with 3 per side of the nuts and bolts to hold the spring. Everything is hand tightened. Except these, I went a little bit tighter than hand tight. Couldn't get this one to, like, they're kind of kicked out a hair at the top. And that's because of this base plate that they sold. I guess this leaf spring is like a hair too wide. But they hold just as fine. With it now, once I get everything done, painted, what I'll do is I'll get a couple of my floor jacks. We'll lift the tongue a little higher than normal with the wheels chalked up, and I'm able to come in here, or I'll get somebody to help me lift the side up. I'll get my air gun under there so we can go ahead and impact these on. Then I'll impact them most of the way on and double check it with the torque wrench. As you see, it looks so beautiful. Got the whole new complete axle. Besides wanting a new axle on this thing, I figure if I'm going to build it, might as well go ahead and get some of the components that I wanted, which was one of them, a new axle. And the reason I decided to go with this axle here, this pretty cool feature, you notice that it's got a little zerk fitting right on the front. And what it is there's a channel that runs on the inside all the way to back here. What it enables you to do is to pop your little dust cap off. You just pop it off with a little flathead screwdriver, get your grease gun and insert grease right here. So you're constantly adding new and more grease without ever having to take everything off and double check it. Which for every so many times that I grease this, just going the quick zerk method, what I'll do is actually take everything off and double check the bearings myself. It's a pretty cool axle. Besides that feature, it came with the washer already ready to go, and it came with a big old Castle nut, and I couldn't even believe it, even provide you with a heavy-duty cotter pin. This one's gotten bent up, probably in the shop and on storage in their shop. But we're getting ready to install 5-lug trailer hub, 1,750 pound capacity, which I believe it should be more sufficient for this trailer and what I'm going to be hauling. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get these hubs installed. All right. Just cutting through the, I believe it's 2 or 3 zip ties. What do we got? We got 3. It's a pretty cool, unique kit. I did a video a while back ago on how to install trailer hubs. I did that on my little, it's my makeshift utility trailer, and here soon we'll probably go ahead and do a build on that as well. Turning that into a full complete build. Why is the simplest stuff you have issues opening? It's just a twisting motion. Yeah, let's just flip it upside down. Yeah, I know. Well, all else fails, break it. I'm guessing it's the weight of the hub, the way it's pushed into their package. It's crazy, right? Can't even get the sucker open. But there we go. Wow. I feel kind of retarded. Had a little package out, beat me. But it's a simple, it's actually a pretty great hub. And cool thing, also comes with a cotter pin as well. Your lug nuts already there. You got brand new bearings already installed. It's greased. The grease, what do you call it, little seal is already there. So if everything goes right, that's right, that's why I borrowed a rag. Little installation on that. Go ahead and get this on there. You know what, well, now the bad thing is I didn't have a socket to fit this one. This is completely, it must be a crazy size. I have pretty big sockets that I've had for other odd jobs that I've bought over the years, and very well surprised that I didn't have something to fit it. So the closest thing I had, pipe wrench. This is an old rigid pipe wrench, but nevertheless, it's I don't want to round everything off, so I'm gonna just try not to over tighten this wrench, nor should I want it loose. But you notice it just, I mean, there we go. Now we just got a little snugness. Basic rule of thumb. You want to move it right till they get snug, but not too much. There we go. That should do it. With having it too loose, what it's going to cause is it's going to cause everything to move back and forth. But this actually feels good. Double checking it, it's on there straight. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and use the cotter pin that they provided. It's not as tore up and bent, kind of like that one, but we'll save that for later. We can use it somewhere else. Simple as that. And let's see if I can do this by hand without having, nope. Let me go grab a pair of pliers. Alright, just had to go grab a couple necessary tools. Actually, let's pop this up and just give it a quick churn. That's one thing I like to do. There we go. The reason I went ahead and drove it in sideways, so that way when I knock this up, I just use a little ball peen hammer to do these. On the thicker ones, normally the thinner ones are easier to do by hand, but these thick ones are definitely something else. And I don't know why I'm having so much trouble. It's been a long day at work, but projects got to get done, especially nearing, basically I'm in four-wheeler season here in North Florida. Can't do nothing without the four-wheeler, so been wanting to go play. Kind of, I guess, something else gives you a little kick in the butt to get it done. Alright. Let's see, make sure. Alright, didn't even, not paying attention. Make sure you get this thing definitely bent up enough that you're going to be able to get your dust cap on. Now, I don't know if using the one I got with the kit, is there a difference between the one that came with the Northern Tool one? I think it's definitely time to relax for the day and stop messing with stuff, but this size is definitely done. To get these on, they provide this little plastic sleeve. Put that over a block of wood. Done deal. This side's done. Sealed up. It's greased. Double check. Oh. Glad I double checked it. Wasn't seated. Definitely give this thing a spin all the way around. Make sure your dust cap's going to be seated. You don't want contaminants getting in there. This side's done. Right. Off to the other. Same as the other. Get rid of that cotter pin. take off this large castle nut that came on this axle. Alright, grab that. We're going to put these away for right now. Swipe the axle down. It's got some dust from being in the shop all this time. Alright, slide this new one on. There we go. Make sure she's seated down. Alright, get that on there. Alright, get the castle nut. It's pretty well simple. I can't believe that I've finally gotten to this stage. It feels like literally forever. And appreciate all you subscribers out there that are staying tuned to see what I'm doing. Between work and everything, I've been trying to stay actually a week or 2 or 3 sometimes ahead on my builds when by the time you guys see it. But unfortunately, it's not been working like that. Being that now I'm entering the holiday season, I got kids' birthdays and everything else. It's just hard to try to keep you guys happy and put out videos every week as I try. I definitely enjoy building stuff, so that's why I kind of want to video everything and kind of give everybody else another look at what I do, you know, what I build. I definitely have an exciting project that's already, I kind of started it. I didn't want to, but it's definitely my winter project. Once it gets too cold outside here in North Florida, you won't catch me outside. Well, can't say never. If it's ATV riding, I'm up. But usually just to hang around. I try not to have any outdoor projects. Don't like the weather, never in for it. So that's one thing. A lot of people know me. I always try to find a wintertime project, something to do. And just as the other one, still having a little issue for some reason getting this thing done. I apologize, my head was in the way. But it's literally a little beating on this, a little pounding on that. Well, this is what she looks like. She got an axle on it. Can't believe it's finally on there. Never been so excited to install new parts in forever. And the reason I say that is I had all this. I had the axle, the hubs, the axle seat, all this stuff under my workbench, and it was just there's more crap under there that's been waiting for this trailer. I still have whole light trailer wiring light kit. I also bought extra wire because the kit only does, I think, up to 16 foot, maybe 20. From what I gather, it's not going to be enough, so I went ahead and just bought extra wiring. I'll just extend the actual wiring that comes from, I'll let it run so far down, then what I'll do is I'll just extend it to the very end. Having enough wire is definitely going to be a must doing that. So we still got a little bit more welding coming back here, and what I'm saying by that is this piece back here. My original plans, when you've seen the last, I think it was the last video or before, I came in and put these extra pieces in here, which help. It's going to help strengthen the 2x6 floor. And I'm actually not going to do that. I'm not going to do it as a tight pattern across. What I'm going to do is actually leave a little space in between the 2x6s. So if we get the four-wheelers muddy and I want to wash them right on the deck, that I have room, gaps for it to fall through. This piece right here, what I was getting back to, it needs to be welded in so it has a flat plate coming up. Kind of like right there. And what that's going to do is give me a base to actually screw down lag bolts. Is it lag? No, not lag. Carriage bolts. So we can bolt the wood down. So I'm glad I remember that. I'm going over the final, what needs to be welded, what needs to be grounded. Like this right here, we got to grind this down. Little imperfections. Since I'm getting it done, might as well make it look nice. So we got a couple of things to do. Like right here, the inside, this inside I couldn't weld, so, and the same as the other one. It wasn't easy to get in there with the original tire. Now if you're looking at this and you're kind of like, wow, these tires are going to sit out. Yes, they are going to sit out a little further than what the original trailer did. And I kind of like that for several reasons. It's not getting that tire like right up on here. In order for me to get it a little shorter, I'd had to have a custom axle made, and for the price, it really wasn't worth it. For $120 plus sales tax, it wasn't a bad idea just to go ahead and purchase this axle, go ahead and have it in. Definitely it's better than this old god-awful ugly heavy axle. And I mean, it did have trailer brakes in it, so it has the drums, and that what makes it heavier. But with a lighter trailer, with a lighter trailer, and I can put a heavier load on there, so I won't exceed my leaf springs or my new axle as far as its weight. So I don't know. I guess trying to think here what needs to be fabbed up. Anything else that needs to be welded, because the next steps after the welding is going to be to get the angle grinder out with a wire brush, start cleaning it up. I believe after that, paint it. Once we get done with that, I can come back later on and do the what do you call it, the old winch up front. I can drill the holes and bolt it. I need to finish cleaning up that mount. That's something else I keep thinking about, what needs to be done. And it's just a process of elimination, especially on a job like this. It's taken me longer than a couple of days. It's been about 2 months now, and I can only work on it in sparing time. So every chance I get, I try to get much more accomplished. But at least now it's going to be back as a roller. Get my new jack stands from underneath it out. So the next step, I guess, is going to be prep it for the welding of this. Whatever odds and ends welding I need to finish. And I guess it's time to bust out the old angle grinder.